until I see myself on the screen. Hey, there I am. Hello, weirdos and malafolks. How's everyone doing today? I am Guslado, also known as Doug from Top Doug Design, and I am here to paint for you today. I'm excited, very excited to be painting up this model. Finally have my hands on the man, the myth, the legend, Kastore, who I've been loving playing a proxy of him on the table. I'm excited to finally be able to actually have the real model. So it's very exciting. So I'm going to get diving in here. So on his body, so I'm going to go very pale, kind of a bluish color. What do I want? Yeah, so I'm going to go with a very, very thin purple. Actually, I'm going to go with, that purple. Very, very thin. Very, very thin. Kind of get it in there and get it kind of all over in there. And get it washed down in there. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? I have been, oh, that's not fun. My top of this got stuck in the lid. There we go. That was weird. Yeah, so how's everybody been? I've been super busy. Alrighty, let's put on the painting glasses and get started. Really, really thin this stuff down because it's going to be, I need to thin it down even more. There we go. Let's try it in the hidden area. I really just kind of want to give it a purple undertone to it. Kind of almost a sickly look to him there. Because then I'm going to be doing the really pale blue over the top of this. And I'm going to be doing his loincloth in purple. But I just want to get, some purple undertone to his muscles because I think that'll be a cool look for him. Really just going very, very light here. It's going to be to that, hey, Kettering Llama, how you doing today? Always good to see you. Pretty similar. Getting ready for the Lone Star Fowdown Malifaux GT we're doing here next month in October. It's going to be crazy. As of around lunchtime was when I last checked my numbers. We had 49 people signed up. Hey, Vishil, how goes it? It goes nice. That's good to hear. But yeah, life indeed happens. It does not stop. It just keeps on going. very much, so much life. And I'm also gonna, since I'm doing this purple too, might as well hit this with that thin down, very thin down purple. Do it everywhere. Everything's gonna be a little purple here. All of the purple. Make it very, very thin on here. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I've been busy because, yay, good things. Been getting ready for the Lone Star Fodown, Malifaux GT, as I said earlier there. We've got 49 people signed up, which is awesome. So we are officially the largest Malifaux event in North America, which is kind of insane. We're almost close to double what we had last year. And last year, when we had 26, I was thrilled. This year, we're sitting at, as I said, 49 today. And so that's happening on October 13th through the 15th. So we are about a month out. Well, if you're not able to attend this year, hopefully you can attend next year. I did just confirm with, because we do this at my local game store. And I just confirmed with him last week that we can have the same weekend next year. So it'll be second weekend of the month in October for the Fodown next year. So 2024, it is going to be, I believe it makes it the 11th through the 13th. If memory serves me correctly. I have it written down somewhere exactly when it is. Ooh, Swedish Nationals this weekend. How did you end up doing in Nationals? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to tune into her next stream and find out how she did at Nationals. Or you could tell me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What did you play? Ten Thunders. Okay. Wait, so Swedish. Okay, so you did last. So Swedish Nationals was this weekend, or is this coming weekend? Sorry. Coming weekend. Oh, okay. I thought you said that you were dead last in Swedish Nationals, and it happened this last weekend. Okay. Sorry. That's my bad. Oh, well, eventually you get past that. Or you don't. But if you're still having fun, that is all that matters. If you enjoy yourself. We've been having a fair few players playing Masaki and Lynch to good effect of late. One of our top Texas players plays Masaki a lot. See, and that's the important thing, is having fun with it. See, I've been around to a lot of different tournaments around the U.S. I've not had a chance to make it to an international tournament yet. So I would enjoy that. I got to do that at some point. I just have not had the chance to do that yet. But I've heard good thing. I've heard that Swedish nationals is fun. Heard that Sweden is a fun country to play some Malifaux in. Also, I've heard Sweden's just nice in general. I've been meaning to go. 2 countries. What is the other country you'll show me around? Ah, okay, yeah. Also on the list of places to go to. Oh yeah, everything over there feels very, very close. I mean, not everything, but a lot of the parts of Europe, it kind of throws me off at how close it is because of how spread out everything in the U.S. is. Like last summer when I was in Scotland, I had to keep figuring out. I was like, just figure out the distance, and then put that on a map of Texas. Just go right. Oh, this is only like the distance from me to Houston, from me to Austin, or this is the distance from me to oh, it's a longer drive. It's more me to Dallas. Because I mean, I end up driving because we have garbage public transit here, and if I've got to bring tournament terrain, I've got to drive to bring it. Well, I mean miles, but it's kind of I don't always have a perspective on how many miles something is. Most of the time when I'm planning for a trip, I go, okay, cool, it's this many miles. All right, I'll just stop for gas this number of times. But how long is it going to take me to get there? And so then I figure out, oh, right, that's going to take me, 17 hours, or that's going to take me 2 hours. Because, when I drive to Gen Con, that is a 17-hour drive. Now, I don't do it all in one shot. I split it over 2 days. But, it kind of helps to figure it out. Well, so for that, it's I can't because when I was bringing all of the terrain for the Malifaux events with me, and I can't fly with that. Most of the time, something that far, I would fly. But if I'm bringing all of the terrain, I prefer, I need to drive it then. Same with when I go to Las Vegas for Las Vegas Open. That is a 22-hour drive. But I enjoy that drive a lot. It's a very pretty drive. Ended up going through a lot of great, very picturesque desert there. Just drive through a lot of beautiful nothing. And I enjoy those drives because then I just listen to audiobooks. Yeah, it's definitely something I don't do all the time. Like, I mean, if I'm going up to Minnesota to see my parents, I fly. But it's the bringing the terrain. I mean, I can drive for 12 hours and still be in Texas because, well, Texas is stupid. But I mean, that's if I'm going, I'm on the eastern edge of Texas. Houston is on the eastern edge of Texas. So if I went out towards El Paso, it would be 12 hours. I mean, I could just drive, because I think the border is about an hour east of here. It's been a while since since I've gone over to New Orleans. So it's been a while since I've been to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is nice sometimes, parts of it. Where in Pennsylvania were you? Okay, cool. Hmm. I don't know people. I do not know who lives in that area. I know many of the Malifaux players from around the country, but I do not know that area specifically, I don't think. Ah, Hillbilly. Fair enough. But you've been here then. You understand how ridiculously far apart everything is. It's absolutely nuts. It is one of those things that kind of throws me anytime I go to Europe is how close together everything ends up being. But then you've just got history laid atop of history laid atop of history, which is absolutely crazy because we've got, you know, we're a very, very young country. Oh, I miss being able to walk to stuff. So I lived in Chicago for about 6 years. That was over 10 years ago now. But where I lived, I could walk. I could walk to Wrigley Field. I could, if I couldn't walk where I needed to go, my apartment was about a half a block away from like a dozen different bus routes. 15-minute walk to get to the train. And if I couldn't get there by public transit or train or a taxi, I didn't need to go there. I mean, which then also, I mean, it meant that, oh, I'm flying somewhere. Well, I just take the train to go to the airport. So it meant, hey, literally anywhere is, accessible by train. Unlike Houston, where our light rail runs from nowhere I'm going to nowhere I need to be. But we do have an awesome game store here, so. How's that going to take? Oh, nice. Yeah, I miss that. I always enjoy that anytime I go to Europe. Oh, yeah. I mean, so the game store. So the store where we are holding the Lone Star Down at actually is large enough to, and I mapped this out, figured out based on the amount of tables they have, we could host 70 players and still have 4 feet of space around every play space. If we went closer together, we could have even more. So it is a very good game store, and they're awesome. Their intent is, just really bring community together. I love our Dragon's Lair here. Robert, the owner, is it is wonderful. It's been his dream to really have a store that is a community hub and sanctuary for us nerdy types. And he has successfully done that. I mean, heck, they've even got, a tavern that's got food and drink there. So we can have, a beer while we, play some Malifaux, which is awesome. All righty. Well, I think. Let's go with this one. I think, yeah, that'll be this one. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of when you come here, you got to figure out, what are you coming here to see and do? It's like, hey. Oh, yeah, this is a fun crew. I've been enjoying playing the times I've gotten them to the table. Ooh, Talos. So that is a model. And now any of the crews you really run them with, I have not ever really played. So generally Terra. But I have not used that's a master where I just have not gotten around to playing playing as her yet. I've played against her, but not as her. Although I do enjoy her concept. Oh yeah, you got that. Some of that, hey, berry shenanigans is always an interesting thing. That playing around with the with berry always makes for an interesting game. I do enjoy that. Yeah, yeah, the death marshals. Of course, it is one of those things where the first time someone runs up against a crew that buries their opponent a whole lot, it can be a little enervating, I suppose. Yeah, one of my newer players, not brand new, but newer players, ran into Lady J and friends recently for the first time, and had to keep, clearing having me come over to clear a few things up for them to go. No, that is how it works, and no, you don't get to do anything while you are, chilling in the void. Take a little vacation. Take a vacation from your worries and cares because you can't do anything about them anyways. Well, I mean, in Lady J too, it's the hey, are you undead? You're not undead. Well, okay, I'm gonna throw down this coffin marker, and now you're all undead anyways. Because I'm just fun like that. Which I need to, actually get her painted up at some point. She's just one of those fun crews to have available, especially for new players. I do like Lady J. She's got, she's just a great concept. And let's be honest. So the Death Marshals are some of the most iconic models in all of Malifaux. The whole hey, we got these cowboys with flaming skull heads and coffins. Yeah, there's definitely been more than one player who've come to me and like, hey, I'm here to learn Malifaux. I'm like, sweet. What do you want? How much research have you done? Do you know what faction you're interested in playing, or are you coming to this totally fresh? And there's a lot of times where people have been like, I want to find out about those, cowboy guys with the flaming skull heads and the coffins. Yeah, I concur. I think, although most of the time when I'm running people through, intros, if they've got no preference, I tend to either give them Von Schill or the Vix. So I feel like those are some very beginner-friendly crews. I mean, when it comes down to it, when I say beginner friendly, I don't really mean that it's like, oh, it's simple and easy. I more mean that they don't have any of their special rules that they've got don't really break the rules of Malifaux. Or even with Von Schill with the upgrades, is the say, hey, and these give you extra fun bits. But there's nothing that the crew really does that's goes against the quote unquote normal rules. Because, basically ignoring all kinds of different, if this ignores this and ignores this and ignores this, gets awkward then when they play as something that doesn't ignore that stuff. And so they didn't learn what that thing meant. Yeah, I need to finish painting Family at some point. I always get sidetracked by all kinds of projects. So Family was going to be the guild crew that I painted up to teach new players with. Honestly, I think Family is one of the Perdita box is one of the few starter boxes where it is playable 50 soul stones straight with just the box by itself. Most everything else you need like a minimum one other box. And we're talking that's if you're, maxing it, hey, I'm going to put some upgrades on here and bring literally everything in the box. I mean, running it exactly pure from the box. So where's my plan with Kastore? Do you mean as in playing wise or like painting wise and whatnot here? Because obviously I'm painting at the moment. But I've gotten them on the table a few times. Painting. So, kind of going with, I've got his artwork in front of me there. Now, because he is a Nephilim, he's one of the first Nephilims. I'm kind of keeping him in the feel of my other Nephilim. I'm trying to remember what color. Like, kind of got, purpley blue skin for most of them. But he is, half dead sort of thing. So I'm going with a very kind of the pale gray blue, that up to maybe even almost white on some points, like his artwork. So kind of doing that. Going to be giving him a purple loincloth because, Neverborn, and purple is the color that I end up painting on all of my Neverborn. They kind of have that as a unifying feature of my Neverborn models. All of them have got some purple on them somewhere. Now, basing, I need to actually finish. I need to find the time to do it. Going to sculpt some digitally sculpt because it's what I do full time. Some bases that I'm kind of picturing like Mesoamerican ruins. So like the ruins in the deep jungle, overgrown with like vines and stuff. Because when they talk about the Whispering Grove, I think it was a Whispering Grove, the area where he sleeps. It sounded very like it was kind of in the depths of the wildwood and very overgrown and like the forgotten part of the Nephilim civilization. So I've been playing a lot of Tiri lately as well. So a lot of my games, I've been getting Tiri on the table last couple of weeks. I have to change it up a lot. If I start to get, I end up playing against a lot of new players. So I change it up quite a bit to make sure that I'm not, getting 20 crew. Oh god, I can't even. I've got literally at least models. I mean, I have literally everything Neverborn and Arcanist, a large portion of Explorers, a lot of Outcast, decent amount of Guild, decent amount of Ten Thunders. I think Bayou and Rezzers are where I don't have as much. What's the next one up, right? So when I've been running Tiri as Explorers, just because I know those upgrades better. Let's see, I've got full Apex crew painted up, which I love. That crew is fun. I really enjoy Lord Cooper. Yeah, Arcanist was my main faction for most of second edition. Ended up starting to play a lot of Neverborn in early third edition. And then, pandemic happened. And when I came back, to start playing again, it was kind of I need to I want to start playing something. Because, at the time, before that, I'd been kind of bouncing between Neverborn and Arcanist, depending on the day. when I came back, I'm like, I want something, kind of more straightforward. So I went with Marcus. That's when I really started diving hard on Marcus again. Because I figured, hey, he's a little bit more straightforward. Does not have as much. There's fewer weird shenanigansy stuff that he does than other crews. So he was good to get back, get back on the horse with. And Rasputina. So Rasputina was my first master ever. And I did not like the way Rasputina was playing at the start of 3rd edition. She just didn't, she was not doing it for me. The Rasputina titled, I was really, really enjoying. So I enjoy the titled version of Rasputina. And then they released the, I like to call it, Rasputina 1B, where they did the full overhaul on what she does. And I've been getting that to the table occasionally now, and it is a fun version of it. I'm really enjoying how that one plays. And every time I play it, I'm surprised at how actually mobile that crew can end up being with the what's her new that bonus action, the new bonus action she's got. It's been out for over a year. The bonus action she's got on her updated version always surprises me how mobile that makes her crew. Hey, what is up, the Nick Westbrook? Hello, sir. How goes? Oh, you rolling on that, Von Schill? Or Veschill? Von Schill. Yeah, that's what we're literally talking. You're rolling out? Well, have a wonderful evening. Hey, no worries. I mean, you're over in Sweden. I have no clue what time it is there. I'm assuming it's the middle of the night because that's what it strikes me as. It feels like it should be the middle of the night in Sweden. 21. Oh, yeah, it's getting up there. Not like crazy late, but not, like, hey, middle of the afternoon. Hey, Nick, how you feeling, man? That's good. I got to get that, just took a half day. Nice. I appreciate it. I got to get you that, getting the new laser ready. Yeah, I got to get that vector file to you. And then we also got to figure out the plans we were talking about for the Students of Conflict Headhunter Award thing. because I don't remember what we decided on that. We can, because then I can also, because we had good, wordages and things for that. For what to put on the markers. But I figured I can, come up with something fun and special with that. Oh, good. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, right after stream, I tend to have to bounce pretty quickly. That's right around the time when my wife gets home from work, and so then we do dinner. But she's got a bunch of homework she's got to do tonight. So I will be around, and I'll just be here getting stuff ready for the faux down. Figuring out. Yeah, dude, I'll shoot you a call or text or whatever. Yeah, so I was making the terrain catalog. Oh, hey, you know what? Nick, if you could, just send me a text literally right now to remind me to say, hey, send me a message later. Because if I don't, I will totally forget. Because, yay, ADHD. I know you understand. But, sending me a text right now won't bother me because my phone is currently on Do Not Disturb mode. Yeah, so I was going through all of my terrain and figuring out I literally went through all of my tubs of terrain, everything I have, and figuring out. And so what I did first is I went through all of the pre-made maps I have that we use for the events, and wrote down exactly how much, exactly what pieces of terrain I use for every single map that I've got, pre-made. And then went and cataloged every single piece of terrain that I have. So then I figured out, okay, which pieces of terrain, pieces of terrain do I have available to make more maps? And, which pieces of terrain may actually have been double booked, as it were, when I was originally making the maps. Because there's a couple pieces where I'm like, oh, I've got more of these on the maps than I have in reality. So I've got to adjust my maps. Because I've got a lot of terrain now. So I've got the 18 standard maps that we use for, events and stuff. But I've got 25 total battle maps. So I've got, all from Maps by Mars. You guys are awesome. So we've got 25 Maps by Mars. And so I was kind of figuring out okay, what do I have available to put on those new maps? The maps that I do not have a thing made up for yet. And I think I've got at least 5 or 6 more maps without even having to, make anything new. But then I've also got, just stuff sitting around my office that I'm like, hey, I've got this and I'll use this to make terrain eventually. And then I hadn't yet. So lots of plants. It's kind of funny. The sheer number of, which I can actually grab these right now. So I use these things a lot. Which, I'm going to hold it up on this screen right here. Ooh, look at that, because it's kind of big here. These are the little fake plants from IKEA. And I take them and I rip them apart. And then I, put them into, put them on little bases. And make lots, trees for the table with it. So, which is cheaper than going with aquarium plants. Because that's like $4 from IKEA. And I get like 10 trees out of it. An aquarium plant costs more than that, and I get like 1, maybe 2 trees out of it. So that is one of my biggest terrain hacks. Terrain hacks for all of you people out there. Doug's terrain hacks. But yeah, so that means then I had to figure out, okay, how many different trees do I use on all of my maps? And I went and I made a spreadsheet because I'm a nerd. But now I know exactly what I use for every table. Which that means I am, even if I don't have it all boxed up together, I can then just say, hey, this table needs these things, and this table needs these things for setup. Which will make setup even faster. Because when you're setting up for, a large event, being able to set everything up really fast is important. I mean, having the terrain, the pre-made maps all good to go for my terrain for Gen Con this year. Cut setup time in half. And made it go very smoothly. And Katerin Lama was here for that. They saw what we did. But of course, anytime I do an event, I've got to have, At least something new to put on the tables to get. Everyone's like, ooh, that's a new thing. So working on coming up with some new things to put on the tables. I love making terrain. Got a whole bunch of weirdscapes over here too that I got to actually get painted up. And hopefully I have time to paint those up in for the faux down too. But you never know. Such is life. But it's nice. We're finally getting to my kind of my favorite time of year around here in Texas. Finally, where it stops being ridiculously hot and I can start enjoying the outdoors again. And then we come up on, obviously we got the faux down coming up. But then we've also got Ren Fair season in the area, which I absolutely love. That Texas Ren Fair is awesome. If you've never had a chance to go to it, you totally should. If you enjoy Ren Fairs, it is a bucket list kind of thing because it is the largest Ren Fair in the country. And it's just really, really nice. I really enjoy it. It feels, it's clean. It's got a lot of nice permanent structures there. And it's just, fun. Good people. Made lots of nice friends through vendors and stuff who work there at it. I'm excited. So for the Lone Star Faux Down, we've got fate decks that I designed. So some custom fate decks that I designed that are, have to have registered already to get it. We might be able to do some extras, prize support. I'm not allowed to sell them because, thank you, Weird, for allowing me to make fate decks. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's super cool. I'm excited. They have apparently shipped. So I will hopefully get them in my hands here pretty soon. That's going to be cool because I did the design myself. Well, I tend to be more of a 2D artist. I end up doing the full deck, and it's in 2D art style. I learned how to do for it. It's a stained glass look, which looks super awesome. If you go to lonestarfowdown.com/events, you can take a look at the Fate deck. I'm quite proud of the artwork. And I'll be sharing around photos of it, here pretty soon, because it turned out so. I mean, we'll see how it turns out when I actually have it in print. But at least the files for it turned out awesome. Anytime I've gotten stuff printed by the company I'm using to print, they've done a good job of it looking like the files. But when it comes to print, you're never entirely sure, because taking something from digital into the physical world can sometimes can end up just looking a little bit off. That's why having a color corrected monitor is important. Which I have, although I haven't updated it in a while, so it may have shifted. It tells me every time I start it up, hey, it's been a while since you've calibrated. Like, I know. I don't have that calibrator anymore. It was a borrowed item. I borrowed it from my school when I was still in school. Ooh, that actually reminds me, when I teach for them again, I should borrow the color calibrator. All right, that's looking pretty good there. I've got to go up with the rest of them to kind of get a sense for how the rest of him is going to look. Although, you know what? Let's go with his hooves. I'll do a little bit of work on his hooves, just to really get those to start getting the points of difference on them here. And I need to stab my paint. Stab the paint. I'm going to stab my paint. Stabby, 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 stab. I'm going to stab my paint. Son, I'm about stabbing my paint bottle. Hope you enjoy it. It's an original composition. Worked long and hard for that composition. Here's bottle number 2. Oh, there you are. Hiding from me. But yeah, I guess the next thing I've got to do now, I've got kind of planned out as what I'm going to be doing for all of the terrain for the photo. I also need to get because we're doing a widget for it, need to get that design finished up into the Nick Westbrook. I'm also got to finish up the t-shirt design because we're getting t-shirts again, which was awesome. I am not wearing that t-shirt today. Had to double check for a second there. But yeah, those went over really, really well. And so I got to figure out what the design is going to be. It's going to be similar because we've got the adorable little, Texas gremlin dude. We might as well get, at least one more year of mileage out of that guy because I love him so much. He is adorable. But I don't want it to be exactly the same as the previous year, So it kind of fades up to the tip there. Okay. So let's take a little bit of purple. Let's grab some purple. Mix it into black there. A little bit more purple. There we go. Really kind of get that faded up towards the tips there. Get that nice and dark and almost black at the tops. But yeah, this guy's going to be fun. I like how he's looking so far already. I think he's going to be a fun model to have on the table. And I want him to just look awesome and delightful and scary. Fade it up from the lighter colors up to that black there. There we go. That fade's kind of starting there. All right. Do some more work on our skin tones. And this one I had to stab the letter blue. There we go. A little bit more of a darker blue there. Kind of get a mid-tone on that there. There you are. That's the color I'm looking for. All right. Consistency. Yes. Might be a little bit thin, but I'm going higher up anyways. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to look like I want it too. Very gentle purple undertone, but nice gray blue skin. I think I'm actually going to make the hair on his little bit above his hooves here. I'm going to actually make that white. I'm going to actually get to that just because, I was like, he's old. It'll kind of, pop then. Grab a swig of water. Mm-hmm. Go. Definitely needs to be paler than the rest of the Nephilim because he's, I don't think he's actually undead, but he's, he's knocking on, death's door for most of the year. Well, he may not be undead. He's definitely not your standard normal alive dude. Let's see. Starts looking, start bringing in a little bit more of this highlight tone there. Okay, I need another step between. There we go. That's what I need. Yeah. Guy's coming along. Viruk, how you doing? Yeah, this is, I started him today. I am digging how he's looking so far. How you doing, Viruk? Also, I'm confident I'm going to be able to actually get this guy finished today. Plan to paint, but think I'll call it a night a bit earlier. Fair enough. What are you working on? We're doing the, you did the Unseelie engine on stream yesterday, right? Oh, yeah. No worries. You're allowed to stay as long as you want, and I'm glad to have you here. Oh, yes. I'm looking for that's one of those ones where I'm like, oh man, that's going to be nuts to paint because it's a big model. And it's got so much detail and it's all this weird whoop, 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 which is a technical term for all that stuff around in there. So Kastore 2, I've really been digging him. I haven't put the Unseelie engine on the table with him yet because I hadn't kind of figured out what exactly it does. So on Saturday we actually had our monthly tournament at the game store, and we had an odd number, so I had to play as the non-competing ringer. In one of those rounds, I was playing against someone who was playing Tiri. Funny thing is, I was also playing Tiri. So, kind of helped me figure out a lot of how other people are playing Tiri. We apparently were approaching him. Both of us were approaching him is quite a different approach, which was cool. But he brought the Unseelie engine, which I have not brought to the table yet with either Kastore or Tiri because I didn't have my head quite wrapped around it. Still kind of figuring it out. But with Tiri, I definitely with Kastore 2, I definitely bring Gwill. I'll bring that with Kastore 1 as well. He feels very important to Kastore's crew. Because while you're not always able to overheal, there are those times where you want to use Gwill's ability to say, hey, I'm going to heal for 0, but count as healing, overhealing. Because that is certainly very, very useful for anyone in the crew, really. So definitely bring Gwill. I've been running Atharak, although I'm not sure Atharak is totally necessary. Right, and the card draw from Gwill. Now, I forget about that a lot of the times. Because it's not card draw. He discards a card to draw a card, right? It's been a few weeks since I've gotten them to the table. Been trying Tiri out lately. Because Tiri just seems like fun. Plus, I've been really enjoying the aesthetic of Tyrion Friends. They've been a really because I painted up Parson, and last time I painted up the Iron Matron. I've been really enjoying their aesthetic. Right, but also because those markers only last until the end phase. There's definitely times where you feel like, oh man, Athorak needs to go early to protect everyone else. But sometimes you got someone else who you just want to go with sooner. I really enjoy the Cavern Nephilim. Because, they're nice and sneaky. And stealth is something you don't see a lot in Neverborn outside of, Marcus Cruz or Zoraida. Angel Eyes. So I have not gotten the reworked Angel Eyes to the table yet. So this comes to the way I learn new keywords and new masters. Is that when I put them on the table for the first time, I put 0 versatile models on the board with them. So in the early runs with them, I only run keyword models. Just to figure out, how does this keyword work? And so I'm not at the point yet with Kastore where I'm like, hey, time for to look at the versatile models. So what was that you said there? So first opponent watch your step, which often leads them grouping in one place. Oh, yeah. Then Kastore runs in there and says, hey, what's up, guys? Roar! Because that is what Kastore do. Kastore says roar. And I know she just got a rework. She got a nice buff in the errata, right? Oh, that's good. I hate Calypso and BB so much. Calypso and BB are the worst. I hate those guys. I've got Angel Eyes. I just need to, I guess I need to try her on the table then. Because she was not great for a long time. The interaction of Angel Eyes with Marathine? Or the interaction of Kastore with Marathine? Oh yeah, Kastore and his totem is a fun. It is an interesting thing. I think of all of the masters in the game, him and his totem now feel the most tied together. Because it is literally the only model in the game that cannot be killed. Because it does not have health. Although one thing I have found is you got to be careful with positioning for Marathine. Because Marathine, yeah, it's like, oh, you don't worry about Marathine because, you can't kill Marathine. But you got to watch out for blasts. Because Marathine has very low defenses. So they can hit Marathine and blast onto everybody else. Now, obviously, Marathine takes no damage, but everyone nearby gets that damage. So you got to watch out. But I also enjoy that between Kastore 1 and Kastore 2, because I've been trying Kastore, I can't remember Kastore 1, Scrawny Boy Kastore. Tried him on the table a few times. I think I like Kastore 2 better. Kastore Fervent, this guy, better, which is why I'm painting him first. It just fits my play style more. I have an aggressive play style. It's the way the Texas meta goes. I have an aggressive play style. And but I enjoy that Kastore on Kastore 1, on Scrawny Boy Kastore, the totem does a surprising and ends up being a surprising damage dealer in that when you heal when Kastore overheals for Scrawny Boy Kastore, pulses out that damage off of him or around Marathine. Well, suddenly you got, Marathon, this unkillable totem right in the middle of their crew, and they're like, oh, and Kastore overheals, and it pulses out the damage to everybody. And that can end up doing a surprisingly large amount of damage. Because Marathon does not hit that hard. It's what, a 2-3-3 damage spread? I can't remember off the top of my head. It is not a huge damage spread. And can only do it once per activation. So I like to take Inhuman Reflexes on Marathon. Because that means Marathon can charge while engaged then. And just, blade rush through everybody. Which is delightful. So definitely enjoy that one. I found that also having Blade Rush on Kastore is fun. Because, well, big boy, he gets to move through a lot of models. Which means lots of little plinks. And being able to, the death by 1,000 cuts is always hard to deal with. Because, if you're going up against models that have stone use, they can be like, well, do I stone this? Do I not? There's all that. Oh, you put Ancient Pact on him? Yeah, I haven't tried him with Ancient Pact yet. So I tend to like, when possible, I like to do Ancient Pact on a minion. Because then you get that card draw. And with the current state of the game, card draw is king. Well, fair enough. That does make sense. And plus one on the initiative is never a bad thing. And having a black Joker proof leader is always useful. I do run it on like Dreamer. I almost always run Ancient Pact on. If I'm running Marcus 1, I like to run Ancient Pact on him. Marcus 2 doesn't really need it. Come on, let's a little bit more there. Let's get that mid down back. There we go. So I've also been eyeballing Kastore 2 as a second master. Because he can operate pretty solo. And he just goes so balls to the wall sometimes. Just absolutely in your face. Murder. Kind of wondering how he would play as a second master in an Akima crew, because that could be really cool. What I really need though is at some point I need to try out. I was coming up with a. I need to actually get this to the table. I came up with a shenanigansy list for an Akima crew. I was trying to find, things in game that are awesome ideas that don't get used a lot. And I love the idea of the drop from above trigger on a lot of the that a lot of the Nephilim have on their Fly With Me. Because it's very cinematic. It's the, hey, we're going to pick this guy up and we're just going to drop him. And pulse out that, top bomb him with that black blood. I love the idea of it. I've never actually seen anyone use that trigger. So my plan is to build an Akima list built around the drop from above trigger. And the errata update to the corrupted hounds may have made that even better. Because I was already looking at corrupted hounds because they're cheaper than taunts. But now they got more wounds and they can summon more of themselves. So contemplating that. Need to actually get it to the table because of the silly shenanigans list. But silly shenanigans lists are what I do best with. I think I'm at a point with him where I need to give a little bit of color to the wings because I'm kind of starting blending around that. So let's find where is my kind of magenta-ish color. Let's see, which one was I going to use? No, red, okay, bubblegum. Where's that other one? No, okay, is that it? There we go. Just kind of magenta. Okay, I think that was the magenta one I wanted to kind of go. Yes, that's the one I wanted. Because I do like the Nephilim look when you do the, you've got the when you got kind of the pinkish look in the membranes of the wings. So I'm kind of a magenta on that there. There we go. Okay, let's get that underneath there. Underside of this one is very dark, so I don't need too much down here, but still got to kind of get it in there. Kind of give it a little bit of just a toning of that there. Yeah, it'll get a nice pop of a difference in color. Isn't really on the artwork. I'll actually use these colors in his mouth a little bit too. Nice colors for the inside of the mouth. Yeah, I will catch you later, Viruk. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for stopping by. There we go. I think that gives a nice pop of color there. That going too much over the top. I'm just gonna have to blend that with the blue there. Yeah, it gives a nice pop. I'm just going to grab a swig of water. My wet palette is drying up a little bit here. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going on those skin tones. So let's just get that blend back. Hello, mid-tone blend. How I have missed you. Might have you a little too thin there, but we shall see. Yeah, you're good. Right there. He's looking good. You're looking good, Mr. Kastore. Should probably do your eyes here. I think I'm going to do your eyes. All right. Oh, he's got these really deep, glowy eyes there in the artwork. Let's go with a little bit of kind of the dark purple. I want to do black around his eyes there. Do the deep purple around the eyes. Kind of fade it out from there. Go with that really sunken look. I love how that looked right there, but all right. I think honestly, some bright red eyes is kind of what I'm going for here. It's got those like pinprick black eyes. That's but it's hard to get that to really sell. So I'm going with bright red. So red for his eyes here. Because that's always scary. There's my number one brush. There you are. Hello. What's up, little buddy? Let's let that dry a little bit. Let's keep going on. So I should blend this up into. Because on the artwork, it kind of blends his flesh tone color up into his horns. So I like that look. There we go. Let's get that laid in there. Kind of get the deeper flesh tone in there, and I'll get the purple transition. Let's go to the purple transition right there. There we go. A little more purple in that area there. All right, yeah, I'm liking that kind of blendy look to it there. A little bit more of you out here, buddy. There we go. Just kind of doing a little overbrush on those horns there with the skin tone, blue-gray skin tone on there to kind of pull it together. Make sure the tips of the horns there need to kind of go with the purple overbrush on it. We might even need to go the next level purple up. Go for real subtle purple on that there. Yeah, probably need to go with the next higher purple just to really make it pop. Don't want it too bright. Very gentle with you. Yeah, I think that gives it a nice kind of, gives it that fade. Hit that kind of middle ridge on it there. little bit of the brighter purple. There we go. I'm going to go back and do his eyes a little bit more. I'm going to stab my paint. Going to stab my paint. Let's go ahead and number 0. Yep. I think I need it. Yeah, let's go with one brighter red just to kind of pop that. There we go, that'll be perfect. Really make it pop. All right, let's finish up the rest of his skin there. Because you're looking flat to me now suddenly. All right. You gotta do your mouth. Mm-hmm. Let's work that pink, that magenta in there. Let's work that on the wings a little bit. go. See that right there. Yeah, okay, there's the ankle. Yeah, this is a fun model. I dig this guy. Put a little bit of that on the horns there. Start to pull that color, raising that brightness on the skin tone as we fade it into the horns. through in that spot right there. There we go. That's where I needed it. Stay bottle of paint. And a swig of water. A little bit of medium there. Fade that downward. That's too much. Go back with the darker. I need to do his teeth there. Let's see. I like that color for the teeth. Blend that a little there. much for that. Trying to go for a really gentle look on that there. That's good. I got two. I'm actually on the screen. There we go. Come on, little buddy. There you are. Alrighty, this guy's coming along, getting close. I do enjoy a big, crazy-looking demon guy. Still always a fun aesthetic to go for. God, why is that looking so flat on there? Let's get you a little bit more water. Do I need to go up? I think I might need to go up one more higher then. All right. Anyways, let's get going on the rest of. That is too much. There we are. Goodness. Yeah, I think that's what I needed there. Let's get that going. Kind of getting that really pale, luminous look to him there. His face just isn't doing it for me right now. Probably need to add a little bit of white into my mix. Kind of desaturated that last little bit there. Okay, that's coming along. But yeah, okay. Starting to brighten that up. Probably need to go up to white. Add some white in this to just really make it where I want it to be. Feels kind of sloppy right now. Feels kind of one note at the moment. Let's do a little more detail on those hooves. I'm just feeling really flat at the moment suddenly. Okay, let's take a look at you. What is... Need a little more black in that area there. And fade it down. That'll be good. Stay. We got about 9 minutes left here. He's coming along nicely here. Alrighty. Let's do that right there a little bit too. Yeah, I believe next time you tune in, I will be painting up Marathine. And possibly Etheric if I get that guy done. Oh, that's the wrong color. Wrong color, wrong spots. All right, here we go. Okay, almost done. There we go. She got a little bit of fur around the hoofs there. Let me actually sketch that in. Yeah, he's coming along nicely. I need to actually hit the, it's a little bit, one note at the moment, but I think I hit that stuff on there. Maybe push the highlights on his cheeks there, and that'll kind of make him pop a little bit better. And I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do some, I think the hands going to be some bright red blood. I'm going quite the black blood on him there because, he's fed up on black blood at this. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming on out. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Stay weird, everyone.